5:05, April 30th, 2023. So I just wake up from a dream experience, as I like to call it, because it wasn't just a dream like a movie. It was an experience. And I can't bother to write it down, so I'm going to voice record it. All right. 5:05 a.m., April 30th, 2023. All right. In this experience, it's like I woke up from a, facility or something of sorts. Because by the time I, become self-aware in a dream, I've already been passing through some places. One of the last places I remember passing through was, it's like I was in the ceiling of this very old house. And I was quite surprised that when it's like I was in the attic of this very old house. And when I uncovered the ceiling, rather, so it would have been my floor, but it's the ceiling of the lower floor. When I uncovered the floor, I was able to now see inside that floor now from where I was at. And it looked like a very large living room. And so eventually, and what's so amazing is I don't know how I skillfully got down from the ceiling, because it was a high ceiling. So I don't know how I got down without any injury or making a whole bunch of noise or anything. But I realized that this house was, inhabited by some living people. And so my goal was to at least get outside into nature instead of being inside these buildings. And so as I get down from this high ass ceiling down to the floor, like I said, I'm in this living room. People live there, but there's no one actually physically there. I can hear a TV in the background somewhere on. And so I get down and I look towards this maybe table, some kind of stand or table, square table or something, that's on the side or the corner, the left side of this love seat or something. You know how people get them stands on the side of the couch where they put their couches or drinks or remote, whatever. And so I could see some books, a few books, and these books are books on UFOs, different kinds, books that are reminiscent of books that kind of deal with indigo children and really far out there stuff in terms of, otherworldly elements and topics. And so I was drawn to these books to go over there and take these books. I don't know why, but when I begin to further tell you the dream, then that would make sense why. I went over there to go take those books, seeing as I kind of just woke up out of nowhere, and I'm trying to find out what the hell's going on with me. So as I go and I pick up 3 books from that countertop with the UFOs and the hybrid stuff and all of that. I pick up about 3 books. And as I pick up the books, I realize, and then I put back down the books. And the reason why I picked up the books and then put them back down is because I had the gift, I believe it's called psychometry, right? I believe it's called psychometry. Lord, I hope I'm saying this right. Which is where you can learn something by just touching it. So if it's a book, all you got to do is just put your hand on the book and you learn everything in the book instantly. Okay? That's all you have to do. And so it looked like, I guess intuitively knew, but somehow my memory was wiped. And so when I seen the books, I had to refresh my memory to kind of get a remembrance of who I am, which was a star seed or something, indigo child or whatever. So when I picked up the 3 books and then I put it back down, I had got my knowledge back. Now I'm like, okay, let me get the hell out of this house for these folk find me. Because they're going to be trying to figure out who the hell am I, what I'm doing here, as I'm also trying to figure out the same thing. And so I go to exit out what would be the front door of this mansion. It looks like a pretty large house. When I open the door quietly, I can see towards, because you open the door and it kind of leads into this not directly outside, because then now you got to do some more walking to get to the actual door that leads you outside. Hope it makes sense. So in that area, as I open the door and I'm looking at, in the distance, the actual door to go outside, I see this white lady who's lives in the house. She's either just coming in or going, but she's like fiddling with her shoes. So she has no clue that I'm behind her. I could see her, so I'm like, oh shit. So I close the door silently and I go to what would be this window. I guess it would be towards the back of the house. Thankfully, nobody was there. I open the window silently and I climb out. And I start, jogging off to, I don't know, go somewhere. So I get some distance. Oh my God. More stuff is coming to me now. I get some distance down the road. Nobody sees me. The only person that can see me is, I don't know, the camera or whatever. So I get some distance because I said, okay, even if they call the police, I'll be long gone. Hopefully, they won't even be able to catch me or do, because I don't know what I'm going to tell them. I really don't know what's going on, where I'm from, where the hell I woke up from. I just don't know. I only know the information I just soaked up a while ago by doing psychometry in that book. And so, so I get down some distance on the road and I see this sheriff's car pulling up. And I'm like, Lord, please tell me he ain't for me. I think I'm barefoot. I'm not sure. I got some, regular t-shirt, maybe a jeans or shorts on, but I think I'm barefoot. And it was so funny, before I forget this part. I'm not in the physical body that I'm in right now. It's a man that's like, maybe early 40s. He ain't too old. Black, yeah, but I'm still black. And, but I'm in a different body, y'all. And somehow or another, at that point, I've acquired some Bluetooth earbuds. It's crazy, y'all. But how crazy is crazy? And when you're trying to blend in, you feel me? So this sheriff's car starts pulling up. I'm not really sure if he's there for me or not. I don't know. But by the time we are parallel with each other, I'm parallel walking, he's parallel in his car. He gets out and he starts talking to me. He doesn't, I don't overreact. And so he don't overreact. So, because I'm not really sure what's going on. So it's like we stopped at this bench, which I believe was a bus stop. And, I don't know, we just started sitting down and talking to each other. There's a white guy, sheriff. And we just started sitting talking to each other. And, it was almost like I had this amazing ability to, make individuals very calm, in a way that if I needed to not have them privy to something I didn't want them to, I had the ability to speak to them in a way, converse with them, and they would forget about it. So like even if they came on with one intention or whatever, by the time I was done with them, they either, said never mind, or I just took them someplace in the conversation that they didn't even remember why they really came there, why they really came to approach me. So I had gifts, very, very strong gifts of persuasion. I wouldn't even say, telepathic control, because I wasn't controlling his mind. I was just speaking to him. I didn't feel any animosity towards him, or I just, in the back of my mind, I just was like, I don't want, or I hope he's not here to lock me up, or he knows who and what I am. That's my main thing. And I think one of the last things I remember telling him before I actually woke up was something of the sort where, let me make it make sense. I was saying, it's probably blocked out for a reason. I know what I was saying, but I can't really form the words. I don't know. I guess I'm not permitted to say it. I know what it's not that I don't know what I was saying, but for some reason I just cannot put it into words. But I was giving him like this message of liberation and peace. I'll put it that way. To him. So if he was coming in to apprehend me or whatever, of course he damn sure didn't, because like I told you about my gift that I had. But in the midst of that, I still gave him a very peaceful word of liberation of mind, liberation of soul. And I feel like people really need to hear such messages of peace and messages of calmness, messages that really bring them liberation of soul. There are so many people in this world that are bound, just in prisons of, made by someone else, prisons of their own creation or thought. They're in bondage. And a lot of people, they know that they are, but they just don't know how the fuck to get out. You know what I mean? And so they need prophets like myself and others who will speak to them. And they don't have to be in this archaic, thus saith the Lord. Nah. Everyday human language. Just regular talking, but giving them a message, a prophecy, or a message of hope, reconciliation, a message of liberation, like I said. See, while the world right now is going through turbulence, y'all. The world is going through turbulence because it's confused right now. But it is going through revolution and reform. And so there's actually a war right now. Not with guns and missiles, maybe not yet, but there's a war of the minds. There's a war of the soul is trying to liberate itself. But I think, well, I would say they're going in the right direction, but it's just shaky, with liberation movements popping up all over the place. In my opinion, yeah, some of the stuff is really, 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 really reaching. With some of this, it just don't make no sense. It's like anti-nature. I'm gonna leave it at that. Let you figure out the rest. It's anti-nature and also anti-rightful thinking. You know what I mean? Like some of the stuff just lets you know that people are really not mentally healthy at all. They're not. They don't even trust what their eyes see anymore. And that is scary. They're in illusion. And so anyway, back to this vision experience, this vision quest, or shamanic. I'm still bugged. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. So you know me, I'm going to try to search out these books in real life. It was 3 books. And I might already have it in my library. I guess Spirit is like, yeah, okay, you really need to read this because essentially you'll be remembering the stuff, but you need to read it so that you can have a remembrance, and then you'll know what to do. Because see, reading, you can activate and turn on a gift by reading something. I don't know how many of y'all knew that. Yeah. The Spirit said to me a few years ago, you cannot flow in what you do not know. So basically what he was essentially telling me is, I can do what I want to do. I'm the Most High. However, there are cases, where I'm going to follow the protocol. Why am I going to introduce you or introduce something to you that you don't have no knowledge about? I would rather you have the knowledge so that when I flow my power through this gift and you have the knowledge of what it is you have or I'm giving you or what's out there, you can be able to flow in the fullness because you're conscious and you have the knowledge of what's going on. This is how the Most High works most of the time when he wants to give you a gift. So guess what? I guess I just answered my own question. I'm going to have to read books on psychometry. Psychometry, I believe, and I really hope I'm using the right term because I'm not going to re-record this message. I believe psychometry, I spell psycho, METRY, is when you are able to download information by touching it with your hands. Anything. So if it's a book, you could touch it and get the knowledge will just be downloaded right into your mind. And so I got to get a book on psychometry. I'm going to have to get a book on star seeds or hybrid children, rainbow children, indigo children. And the third one, I'm not too sure. It's probably going to be telepathy, right? Or remote viewing or something. Because apparently spirit is trying to prepare me for something, or to go a place where I'm going to need to have these abilities on. I'm going to need to have the knowledge in me, and I'm going to need to be able to flow, have to flow in it. I don't know. There's something very awesome and unusual that's happening. And I want to tell you as a prophet to get with it. You want to get in an alignment with what is going on. Because the prophet, or a prophet, male or female, normally receives the message first, or the experience first, before they then get to go ahead to share it with other people. Right? Amos 3:7. The book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 7 says, surely Adonai Yahuwah, or Yahuwah Elohim, does nothing until he reveals what he's doing, or reveals what's in his mind to his servants. And I could even say friends. The prophecy. Prophets are friends of God, friends of Allah, friends of Elohim, whatever word you want to use. Prophets are friends. You know why they're friends? Because the prophet is in constant union with Allah, with God. And Allah talks to the prophets face to face. And please, if you're Muslim, don't come on here, acting and talking crazy because you hear me using the word Allah. Allah does not belong, the name does not belong to Muslims. Allah predates Islam. And I'm sure if you're Muslim and you're red, you already know that. I'm not a Muslim. So I just want to make that clear. I respect Muslims, and I love Muslims, and I love the Quran. But I'm not a Muslim in terms of the religious faith. I'm a Muslim in terms of the definition. So please, the prophets are friends of Allah because they talk to him all the time, and they talk to Allah all the time, and Allah talks to them all the time. So normally they get the message or the experience first before they get the message, right? So I'm preempting you, the listener. Get your shit together spiritually. Do whatever you need to do to get clear and free so that your hearing spiritually is cleared and your spiritual sight is cleared and your heart is lightened. Remember Ma'at? If your heart is too heavy, your ass can't get into heaven. You see what I'm saying? So what's the metaphysical or the cosmological truth with that? You can't be walking around with a heavy heart. How are you gonna fly? You're too heavy. It's like pigeons. Pigeons' bones are lighter, if I'm not mistaken, than its feathers. You see how Allah created them? You see what I'm saying? So, same with you. And in the Bible, the heart is synonymous with the mind or the thought. So they're interchangeable. Damn, you can't walk around with a heavy head. You're thinking too much. You got too much on your mind. Too much in your heart. Too much emotional. You see what I'm saying? You got to lighten yourself. You got to fast from some stuff. Hello. You got to fast from some people. Hello. Huh? You got to fast. Okay? All of a sudden, on, what was it? Thursday night, I get the green light to cut my hair. And any of you that have been following my channel know that my hair is, very sacred to me. All of a sudden, I start feeling some thinning around the middle of my hair. And I'm like, oh no, here we go. Now, you couldn't see it. But if you was to put your hand in there, you could definitely feel it. So I was like, okay, let me cut my hair. I felt the release. I ain't feel no way. I ain't feel nothing. Some people feel emotional about that type of stuff. But because I needed to see what was going on, to see if there was real patches, if there was... And to my surprise, y'all, ain't no patches. I'm like, what in the world? Because when I would take my hand, I would pull the area where the thinning hair was, or it felt like I could see that it was thinner. It was really confusing, y'all. But if you look at my head now, it's even all around. So I don't know. I really don't understand it. I guess Spirit was saying, I need you to release this. Because, hair traps all the old energies and stuff in it. And so especially if you're going to lock your hair, you want to make sure that you are in the most positive state of mind possible. Because you're going to be wearing out your head. I'm just telling you. And so you might want to wait until you're free. If not for nothing, physically, from the area that is weighing down on you, spiritually and emotional. Then you want to put the locks in, if that's what you're going to do. So my hair is cut short right now. I cut it myself, really. And as it is, at the moment, right now as I'm talking to you, I'm wearing a kufi. And what's so bugged out about it is that my sister bought this like maybe 2 years ago. She went to Jamaica, which God knows why I didn't go. That was during COVID where we was getting all that money. So I could have easily went. I don't know what was wrong with me. But anyway, she brought back two kufis, actually, two. One was a Rasta colored kufi. It's a little bigger. So it can actually, cover like most of the top of my head. And then she had a white kufi, which is the one you see, the Islamic brothers wearing. So of course at that time, I had a whole head of hair. So neither of them fit. It just didn't look right. But when Allah is working, when God is working, it's just like stuff be right on time. I'm telling you, the way how it work out for you. And such a time as this. So now I'm like, oh snap. So Allah brings me the thought and just starts leading me down, covering your head. And I'm like, yep, right on time. So I go look for the kufi. I found it. I washed it real good. It had some discoloration or whatever. I washed it real good. I gave it a spiritual bath. I ain't gonna say what it is, mind your business. But I did give it a spiritual bath. Purified it, sanctified it, and I'm wearing the kufi. And I'm gonna wear it until my hair grows back. So maybe that's a message for some of you that maybe you need to, just in this season, not forever. It depends on what Allah tells you. You just might need to cover your head, male or female. And this is not a freaking, a holier than thou. It is a spiritual reason and purpose. Maybe there's some protection that you need. You need to cover your head. You know what I mean? You need to cover your head. You may be given a specific color. Right now, this kufi is white. So, of course, you can't go wrong with white. The frequency of white is purity and honesty, truth. And also, you might need to cover your crown chakra, because guess what? You might start receiving some downloads. You feel me? And you need the channel to be cleared and protected and covered. One thing that came to my mind, everything is just so prophetic. I mean, when you put it all together, one thing that came to my mind, was it today? Either today or yesterday, I can't remember. I was thinking about Piccolo from Dragon Ball Z. If you look at Piccolo is bald. All his people are bald. The Namekians, they're all bald. And to see the Namekians, and I'm gonna get off because I'm there's so much stuff coming to me right now. I just wanted to share the dream. The Namekians, real quick, they're melanated people. Cause see, before we start eating meat, we was vegetarians. So we had a green hue because of the chlorophyll. Now, this is sacred knowledge, so some of y'all don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but some of you know what I'm talking about. And once we started to eat the meat, our skin became copper tone because of the iron. But we were a green-toned people. And so the Namekians are really melanated people. But see, the Japanese and stuff, they lied, and they made the features of the Namekian European. You see, with the straight nose, and these was nigger aliens. Let's just be honest. And but anyway, if you look at Piccolo, he was one of the most powerful next to the Saiyans or the Super Saiyans. You know what I mean? And he had those two antennas right there. Those are his two little locks, you see? And he was able to do things with it. And he was extremely powerful. But if you notice, when he wasn't in war mode, how is he dressed? You never see him dressed down. He always has his armor on, and he has his turban on. You see what I'm saying? And I think it has like this, it's a turban, and then I think it surrounds this, like, I don't know, glass skull cap. That's his kufi, his kufia. See, so you got to look at you got to read between the lines. These are metaphysical signs showing you what to do to protect yourself and guard yourself from these low-level entities and frequencies. And just know, when you start making these adjustments in the natural, you're going to have the lower-level entities that look like you. Obviously, you know how to spot the ones that ain't like you, but it's the ones that look like you got to watch out for. And these low-level shaitan that's working through them. Why are you doing that? You always doing something. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what to do with yourself. You doing this and doing that. Don't worry about them. Just know who they are. When they start talking like that, just know who they are. If they don't start giving Allah praise, giving the Most High praise, just know who they are. They're not your friend. They're not your family. They there to take you down, actually. So they don't mind being friends with you, because remember, they're on assignment, but their asses don't know that. You, the knower, needs to know and realize what's going on and how to block them. So these are things you're going to have to do. You're going to have to become equipped now. You're going to have to start knowing certain knowledges. You're going to have to study astrology. You ain't got to go deep into it, because it's a very vast topic. You're going to have to study astrology and become a stargazer. You're going to have to. Because you need to know the energies that are floating around. You're going to need to know certain metaphysical healing modalities, crystals, herbs, potions. You're going to need to know how to do certain aspects of magic. It's about to get real, y'all. Because as your gifts start cutting on, you're going to need to know what gift you have and how it is to be used. All this shit they put in movies of, Divergent, no, that shit is real. And so we want to give the Most High thanks because the Most High is allowing, these eyes wide shut moments to where the enemy is telling you the truth in a movie. And he know your ass don't take movies seriously when you should be. Because every movie is a spiritual message. Don't you sleep. I'm warning you. Every movie is a spiritual message. So when you watch movies now, it's fine. Watch it for the first time for entertainment. But you see the second go around and anything after that, now you need to have your notebook. I'm telling you what I'm telling you for a reason. Because there's some things that's going to start cutting on in you. And you need the knowledge so that you can flow in the fullness of your ability. I'm very excited because I'm interested to see all of my gifts. I always knew I was gifted more than just to give prophecies. That's an obvious gift if you follow this channel. But I always knew that there was more to me than that. And so now I just been given a glimpse a while ago through this dream. And so I'm excited. I wonder what your gifts are going to be when they cut on. I wonder where you'll be by the time you see this timeless video. I wonder. I wonder. Wow. Wow and wow. Well, my name is Voyager Shemayim. I had to jump right into it. And I'm glad to share this message. If you want to donate to this channel or you enjoyed what you heard today, first of all, I'm going to ask you kindly to hit the like button. I'm also going to ask you to leave a nice comment. I'm going to ask you to share. And I'm going to ask you to subscribe. I need 1,000 subscribers because I'm trying to be able to monetize my channel. Okay? So please help me out with that. But yeah, if you want to donate and you just was blessed by this message, it's easy. Very, very easy. All the information is in the description box of this video. Be a blessing and just know that you're going to be given risk. All right, that's an Arabic word for abundance or sustenance. Barakah, blessing. All right, you're going to be giving blessing. You're giving blessing and then you're going to receive a blessing. Multiply. Because I always say, you don't get to bless a prophet and walk away scot-free just like that. God's going to come after you. So you need to be expecting that. All right? Listen. Sit into your seat of creation and raise your vibration. Also, if you'd like to book some of my services, where I offer prophecy and tarot, same. Description box. Contact me there through text or email, and we'll get your reading experience, your spiritual consultation done. All right? Peace and blessing, everybody.